APA references provide detailed information about a source. They're listed on the reference page at the end of your paper and correspond to in-text citations in the body text. It's important to understand how an APA reference is built. This enables you to review both your own work and the accuracy of any tool you might be using. Hi, I'm Jessica from Scribbr, here to help you achieve your academic goals. So how do you create your APA references? There are two ways, either manually or use a citation generator like the free one Scribbr provides. Let's say I want to cite an article. Click on Journal, search the article by title, and cite source. Although the reference format differs depending on the type of source, for example, a book, web page, or video, they're built from the same four components. Author. Who is responsible for creating the work? Date. When was the work published? Title. What is the work called? Source. Where can the work be retrieved? Combine all of them and you'll have a reference like this. We'll now take a closer look at these four elements and show you some examples. The reference usually starts with the author's name. This can be an individual, multiple people, or an organization. In an APA reference, the author's name is inverted. Start with the last name, so Smith, followed by a comma and the initials, T, separated by a period and space. Treat infixes, such as fan or de, as part of the last name. Don't include personal titles, such as PhD or doctor, but do include suffixes, like junior. If there are multiple authors, separate their names with commas. Before the last author's name, you should also insert an ampersand. So here I have Miller TC, comma, Brown MJ, comma, ampersand, Wilson GL. If an author is unknown, try inferring it from the context. For example, an About Us page on a website is usually written by the organization behind the website. So use the organization name in your reference. In our case, it's Wistia. If you really don't know who's responsible for creating the work, you can start the reference with the title instead. After the author, you include the date of publication in parentheses. It can take several forms. Only the publication year, year and month, year, month, and day, or a year range. In most cases, you only include the year of publication in the reference entry. Sources that are published more frequently, like newspapers, blogs, YouTube videos, etc., usually include the full date. If the publication date is unknown, write ND for no date in its place. After the date, include a title. Here is where you write the name of the work that you're citing. This can be the title of a whole book, which is a standalone work. So in our example, never split the difference. Negotiating as if your life depended on it is the book title. When citing a standalone work, its title appears in the title component, in italics and sentence case. You might also want to cite an article from a journal or a chapter from a book, so a work that is part of a greater whole. In this case, you need to include two titles. The first is the article title. Influencer marketing. How message value and credibility affect consumer trust of branded content on social media. And the journal title, Journal of Interactive Advertising. When citing a work that is part of a larger whole, the title of the work appears in the title component. Use sentence case capitalization with no styling. And the title of the larger whole appears in the source component in italics. If a work does not have a title, like this painting from Van Gogh, provide a description of it in square brackets in place of the title. Well, it is a portrait of a woman. After the title, you give details of the source, which tells your reader where the work can be retrieved. When citing a standalone work, like a book or web page, you include the name of the publisher, database, platform, or website, whichever is relevant to your source, and a DOI or URL. So in our case, it's Sage Publications. When citing a work that is part of a greater whole, For example, an article in a journal, you include information about this grade whole, like its title, which is Journal of Interactive Advertising, relevant edition, volume or issue information, so volume 17, issue 2, relevant contributors, like editors, the page range, which is page 138 to 149, and the publisher, as well as a DOI or URL linking to the work. Okay, let's take a look at all the components together. In Scribbr Citation Example Generator, you can get a clear overview of a reference format. So for a journal article, you first have the author component, followed by the publication year, then the title, and finally the source, including the title of a grade whole, page range, publisher, and the DOI. For a book, similarly include the author, date, title, and source, including the edition and publisher. For a web page, also include the author, date, and title. For the source, you should include the website name and the URL. Now it's time to try doing it yourself. When in doubt, you can always double check with our AP example articles linked down below or use our AP citation generator. After that, you should format the reference page yourself. Watch this video next to learn how to do so. See you there!